Hey, what's going on? Nick Unsworth from lifeonfire.com. We got Scott here today as a special guest, just moved out here to San Diego, and we're gonna dive into
how to connect with influencers. People ask me this all the time, and I think we have some unique information we can provide the audience out there today.
Stay tuned, it's gonna be hot. Hey, what's going on? Nick Unsworth here, and I'm a kick-ass business coach, and I'm on an absolute mission to help you find your purpose in life, to help you love what you do for work every single day, to help you be the rock star that you are meant to be, to make more money than you ever thought was possible, and to have more time freedom so you can actually enjoy the life that you're living. I'm here to help you set your life on fire. All right, so we are back with my main man, Scott Britton. And so, dude, tell us how to connect with influencers. What are the secrets? What's the secret sauce to
Sure, man.
with
I think it starts really with mindset.
Okay.
And an understanding that a lot of these people, whether it's people that have a huge YouTube channel or write a book, famous author, people on TV, these people are so busy and bombarded, right? People are asking for their time, their energy, their attention, and it's really, really hard to be a signal to noise. So the way that I like to think about it is where are less people trying to get this person's attention, where it's going to be easier for me to be a signal to noise.
So don't just fire it off an email to their gatekeeper.
That's it, man. You don't want to do that. And I can give a lot of examples here, and some of these might be after first contact, but an example would be like, instead of emailing you, and I don't know how many emails you get, I'm assuming a lot, like maybe a better place to interact with you is on a place like Instagram.
Sure.
Right? And start like following you, start commenting, because there's like, maybe you get like 4 or 5 comments per Instagram post versus like 400 emails a day.
Yeah.
Right? And like, it's very interesting. I had a friend who built a relationship with this guy, Mark Suster, who's like one of the most famous investors in Silicon Valley, an incredible entrepreneur, sold multiple companies. And he actually started, after he met Mark, he noticed that Mark was playing Words with Friends, this game on the iPhone. I don't know if it's still a popular game.
That thing was so big before.
It was so big, man.
I sucked at it, but it was huge.
It was huge. And, you know, all these people are trying to build a relationship with Mark. And I think one of the things that happens when you like are trying to connect and then subsequently build a relationship with influencers is like you meet somebody cool at an event or you establish that first point of contact. And then you like think about them in like 4 or 5 months and you haven't talked to them. And it's like, this person probably forgets who I am.
Totally.
And so like consistency is the equation, consistently adding value and making this person smile or making their life better or easier over time is how you take acquaintance to like trusted friend, colleague relationship. So what he did was realize that Mark was playing Word with Friends because he signed on and saw him there and started engaging with him on Word with Friends. And now all of a sudden he was like the only person trying to get his attention on this other platform that he was having a good time on. And ultimately like they became close friends. I'm sure that nurturing process that existed on an iPhone app was part of it. And now my friend Sam became an entrepreneur in residence at his venture capital company, and then Mark ultimately invested in his company. And it, you know, I think if we try to like codify this at a high level, like what did Sam do? He saw this person that he wanted to connect with. I don't know how the original connection happened, but the relationship process happened where on a platform where it was easier to be a signal to noise.
Less noise, less competition. And, you know, it's interesting. I think about, you know, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, but if you've got someone that is interacting on a regular basis, and like you said, they might be favoriting the photos or liking things and just interacting, then that person's they might remember your name, they might interact back, and that's the relationship building process. And then it's like, if you can add value, you know, I think about it as something that's worked well. Just recently, this is a very recent example. You know Brian Tracy?
Yes.
So Brian Tracy, I mean, this guy is the godfather of marketing and sales. I mean, he's the OG of like information products. I mean, this guy's been writing books, doing audios. I mean, he's Brian Tracy. And so I looked at it and was like, all right, well, how do I get involved with Brian Tracy? And it was like, you know, my podcast is only 4 months old, right? 4.5 months old. But what's so interesting is that because I have one, because we did hit like the charts at like #1 entrepreneurial inspiration show, we've got some street cred, that I actually could take that experience just like you could and go to a guy like Brian Tracy and say, dude, why don't you have a podcast? You know what I mean? And so that happened. So literally this past week, I went to them. I got an in because I built a relationship with his, one of his partners, and we sat down for a meeting. And it wasn't me trying to take from Brian. Instead, it was that, hey, I've got a podcast. I knew how to launch it really well. I sought mentorship from John Lee Dumas, Michael Loney, all these people. So I've got a good perspective because I learned from all these people, and then we launched it. And the next thing you know, I'm in the office. I got the whole team there, and they had their ideas on how they were going to launch it, and I just simply shifted and made quite a few course corrections to what they were going to do because they're not in that industry.
Right.
And it was easy for me to stand out as an expert. And it's so cool where, how can, you take your specialized skills and knowledge and shoot, if I can be 4 months in as a podcast and say, that's my in, I can go to like big name authors that don't have podcasts. And I could just go and say, hey guys, I will help you bring this to market. I charge $36,000 a year for consulting, and I'll do it for nothing because you're Brian Tracy. It's like, how do you do that for your business? Take your knowledge and how do you add that value for your clients? And I mean, in my case, it's like I'm doing this now with podcasting because it's an angle.
Totally.
And but how do you reach out to people? To your point, Scott, it's people aren't going to take my call just because I'm going to help them with podcasting. They don't trust me yet. So it's the Instagram, Twitter. I mean, the obscure platforms. And take that and add value for them first. And in the past, with Facebook advertising, I did this for Frank Kern and Evan Pagan, big internet marketing gurus, and I just reached out and was like, hey, I love what you're doing on Facebook, and here's what I've been doing for 6 months. Here's my expertise. Here's who my clients include, and I'm willing to run your ads for you. And if I don't show you a positive return on investment, then we don't have to work together any further. And I'm not even going to charge you. And it's like,
where's the
sweet.
risk? Where's the risk, right?
Okay.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, and I mean, and so tell us about the impact. So, these strategies that, you've been using in your business. So, for someone to go out and to start building these relationships and adding value, tell us about just what can happen in your business, your life. What are these relationships going to do for you? What's the outcome?
Totally, man. I mean, the fastest way to get to where you want to go, whether that's start a company, improve your business, whatever it is people, right?
Yeah.
So it's mentorship, coaching, whatever it is. Like I can go and try to figure out everything on my own, or I can go to somebody or have somebody in my corner in my life that knows exactly what I need to do that can get me there like 10 times faster, right? So for me, like having these people in my life that instead of like having to Google or like watch a bunch of YouTube videos how to do something, I just have people that I can call and say, hey, like, how do I do this? And not only do like they give me an answer, they give me the best answer usually, and an answer that a lot of people don't even know. So it's just like, it's like access that provides velocity, and also just like opportunities as well. Like it's insane, like the amount of cool opportunities inbound that come my way because I have like mind share of these really awesome people who encounter opportunities, can't take advantage of them. They need to distribute them. And so like being one of those people that this person thinks of as like, hey, I know this guy's capable and I know that like he might be interested in this. I'm going to go ahead and see if he wants to check it out. And that's been awesome. Like just a specific example of this is I was in South America. That's where I lived in Brazil for the past year.
How cool is that?
One of my friends reached out to me and said, hey, this group of people, Exosphere, it's like an entrepreneurial accelerator in Chile, is having people down to speak and talk and whatever. Would you be interested? I'll connect you with Carlos. I got connected with a guy, and this thing that I didn't know about it all of a sudden became, go hang out in Chile for a week. We'll pay for your flight. We'll pay you $5,000 for you to go speak and talk about entrepreneurship. And I was like, sign me up.
Not a bad gig.
Awesome. And like that opportunity would have never occurred if I hadn't built a relationship with somebody who was getting, like, I guess having access and being privy to all this cool stuff that was happening.
That's sick. I mean, at the end of the day, it's about networking up and surrounding yourself with the right people, and it's just going to give you almost like an unfair advantage in business. And it's like people make business so hard, and it's like if we can just surround ourselves with the right people, be the hub and the resource that adds value for other people, I mean, that just makes all the difference in the world. I mean, shoot. dude, I don't think I told you this. I just plunked down 25 grand for Joe Polish's Genius Network.
Wow.
25,000 bucks. And why did I do that? It's because these exact reasons. I want to be 1 degree of separation from Richard Branson, from all these big names. Why? For you guys, because I want to be able to bring just stars to the table, you know what I mean? And really add as much value as I can. Because the more value we add, the more, you know, we're going to be able to grow our business, the more relationships we're going to build. And the other thing is for our clients. You know, it's like networking is a huge aspect of what like our business model is. And I'm investing in our relationships, which those relationships could one day serve you or serve you. And at the end of the day, that's just, in my opinion, smart business to invest in yourself, get in those networks, get in those masterminds, get that mentor, you know what I'm saying? Boom. So cool. So we've got a lot more coming up with Scott Britton. You definitely don't want to miss out on. So before we wrap up, I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about a little bit about how to get in touch with you. Mm-hmm. And then guys, if you haven't checked it out, we've got a full Life on Fire TV session with Scott. That's going to be awesome. We're going to dive into the 4 pillars of a life on fire: mindset, marketing, networking, and purpose. So you definitely want to find that one. So how do they find you?
Awesome, man. Actually, much like you, I think the thing that I'm most excited about right now is my podcast, The Competitive Edge. How do you get an edge in business and life? A lot of mindset, a lot of specific tactical strategies in there. So check that out. My main site is lifelonglearner.com, life-longlearner.com. And you can always hit me up on Twitter. I love chatting with people there. My handle is my last name, Britton, Britton. So I would love to hear from all of you, especially if you're interested in this topic, because I'm getting fired up right now just talking about it.
Use the strategies on the man himself.
Yeah, help me out. I need help. Figure it out. So cool.
Tweet it up. All right, man. Well, hey, thanks. And we'll catch you guys on the next episode of Life on Fire TV. See you soon. I'm here to help you set your life on fire.